Loyalty, dead loyal. Potential, high-level supreme will realm. Soldier name, eternal calamity. Territory, blazing sun divine kingdom. Soldier type, supreme divine demon, supreme soldier. Strength level, low-tier deity level elementary grade. Ability overview. The supreme demon god had a sacred body of the same origin as the demon god. The left half was the blazing heaven god bone, and the right half was the abyss hell demon body. At the intersection, there was a demon god origin core. One side of the divine body automatically purified all negative states, and the other side of the demon body devoured the enemy's buffs and converted them for its own use. The supreme god devil was immune to all nomological and soul attacks below the true god tier. It was only injured by pure physics and chaotic energy. It could passively activate the supreme god devil domain and forcefully balance all units of combat power within the domain. Among true god tier and life forms below the true god tier, the enemy's strength was reduced by 50% and their own strength increased by 50%. All the attacks of a supreme god fiend could trigger the effect of the god fiend heavenly punishment. At the same time, it could hurt the enemy's divine body and soul. A supreme god fiend could instantly destroy all living beings in a small world through the god fiend heavenly punishment, instantly adding the destructive power it produced to his body, allowing his strength to temporarily reach the level of a true god tier. The supreme god demon had infinite evolution abilities. Every time it killed a supreme god-level soldier type unit, it could permanently steal its strongest talent and use it for its own use. When the supreme god fiend is on the verge of death, it will trigger the form of the all-evil mother nest and split into 999 descendants of the god fiend who have 80% of the main body's combat strength to escape in all directions. Every descendant of the god fiend can be reborn in place of the main body. Skills: Supreme Arms Talent, Blood Feast of Gods and Demons, Supreme Arms Talent, Declaration of the End, Supreme Arms Talent, Eternal Corridor, Supreme Arms Talent, Collapse of the Kingdom of God, Supreme Arms Talent, Fall of the Nine Netherworlds, Supreme Arms Talent, Chaos Return, Supreme Arms Talent, Deprivation of True Name, Supreme Arms Talent, Final Chapter of Gods and Demons. All Things Are Straw Dogs, Supreme Arms Talent, Sacred Eyes of Gods and Demons. Supreme Law Skill, Supreme Finger, Supreme God and Demon will condensation method sealed. Loyalty, dead loyal. Potential, high-level Supreme will realm. The more Zhou Zhou looked at the soldier-type information of Sage Primordial Chaos and the Supreme God Fiend, the more obvious the smile on his lips became. At the end, he finally couldn't help but laugh out loud. Okay. As expected of a Supreme Soldier type, this Supreme Grade Soldier type is much stronger than my previous Supreme God Realm Soldiers and Supreme Holy Mage God Soldiers. Whether it's the Primordial Chaos Saint or the Supreme Holy Mage God, every single one of them can probably beat the previous 100 Supreme God Realm Soldiers or Supreme Holy Mage Gods. Zhou Zhou was very satisfied. Then, he looked expectantly at the 10 Origin Walkers that had been recruited. The 10 Origin Walkers were dressed in dark silver robes. They wore the crown of all knowledge on their heads and had a blood-colored prism at their glabella. Their left eyes were black holes, and their right eyes were white flames. Their bodies emitted an invisible transcendent aura and a tearing feeling that was incompatible with the real world. It was as if they originally did not belong to this ultimate void great cosmos, but they had been forcefully summoned by some method and were forced to stay here to serve Zhou Zhou. If ordinary life forms observed they would discover an extremely strange phenomenon. That was, no matter how they looked at it, they would feel that the other party was always looking down at they while they were looking up at them. It was as if they existed in the supreme dimension and they were low-latitude creatures, even though they only had true God-tier elementary grade strength. I'm afraid even a Supreme Realm expert will feel strangely suppressed in front of them, right? Zhou Marshall clicked his tongue as he thought. Then, he looked at the attribute information of the 10 Origin Walkers. Soldier name, 1. Territory, Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom. Soldier type, Origin Walker, Immortal Soldier. Strength level, True God Tier, Elementary Grade. Ability overview. As an Eternal Immortal Soldier type, even though the Origin Walker's strength is currently suppressed, it still has the form of an immortal. Their true names were engraved in the Hall of Immortality. Their bodies were true, interwoven by illusionary, and were immune to any form of attack below the level of an eternal immortal. They were truly eternal existences in the ultimate void universe. Only after the summoner died would return to the Hall of Immortality and continue their journey of the origin. As an eternally immortal soldier type, the Origin Walker was in charge of the immortal passive, Origin Obliteration. Even though they were currently suppressed, they could still destroy any existence below the Supreme Will realm indefinitely. Only experts with transcendent willpower and above could suppress and seal them. Skills: Immortal Grade Soldier Type Talent. All methods Origin, Immortal Grade Soldier Type Talent. Origin Disintegration, Immortal Grade Soldier Type Talent. Return to Zero, Immortal Grade Soldier Type Talent. Origin Martial Arts, Immortal Grade Soldier Type Talent. In Wedge, Immortal Grade Soldier Type Talent. Key of Origin, Immortal Grade Soldier Type Talent. Existence of Veto, Immortal Grade Soldier Type Talent. Concept Replication, Immortal Grade Soldier Type Talent. Karma Retraction. All the above skills are sealed and cannot be used. Non-immortal grade experts can spy on them. Loyalty. The Origin Walker has decided to be loyal to you because you are the owner of the Supreme title. Potential: Eternal. Wow. Zhou Zhou was shocked with the new knowledge. He had thought that he had only summoned some special true god tier with the strength of a true god tier elementary grade, but with the ability of an eternal soldier type. However, what did it say? They were actually existences that had already engraved their true names on the Immortal Hall. Even if they were not truly immortal, it was equivalent to seeing what kind of existence the immortal world was. My God, he had actually summoned such a group of big shots. Upon closer inspection, their abilities were even more impressive, not to mention anything else. Even an attack that could be immune to attacks below the eternal immortal realm could make them become almost invincible in the ultimate void great cosmos. The reason why it was almost invincible was that the Origin Walker was only indestructible, not sealed. It also said that one's willpower could seal and suppress them. However, what if he nurtured them into Master God tier, Supreme God, or even eternal existences? He did not believe that there was anyone in this ultimate void cosmos who could suppress and seal them, not to mention supreme gods. Even if Saint Emperor Dahing came, he would have to obediently sing and conquer. Zhou Zhou seemed to see a path of invincibility paved in front of him. Hey, aren't the few Origin Walkers you summoned too against the rules? At this moment, the immortal voice sounded in his mind again. Even if you're the owner of the immortal title, you can't have them at this stage. This immortal realm expert said indignantly. A group of existences laughed around him. This is the future owner of the supreme title. It's normal for him to have some special abilities, right? It would be strange if there weren't. Besides, so what if he summons these Origin Walkers? Only Immortal Gate can be opened by myself. Other life forms can't help at all. These 10 Origin Walkers can at most make him live a little more comfortably in his ultimate void cosmos. It's impossible to use their power to open the door to immortality. You're right. The immortal also understood this logic and chuckled. Zhou Zhou, it seems that your good luck hasn't arrived. Even the Origin Walker can't help you open the door to immortality either. Try harder, or just give up. There are many Undyings who want your title. I don't want it. Lord Li Chun, you have a top-notch supreme title like 6 Extreme Supreme, and a unique title like Ancestor of the Dead that's not inferior to a supreme title. Naturally, you won't care about the supreme title. However, the few of us who don't have a title are very envious. Just play with the newbies. Don't go overboard, or I'll interfere. Of course, don't worry, Lord Li Chun. Zhou Zhou. No. Did you consider my feelings as the party involved when you were chatting? Who is this Li Chun? He sounds very powerful. Li Chun, 6 Extreme Supreme, Ancestor of the Dead. Who is this guy? Why do I feel like even the Undyings in the Immortal Palace have to be so respectful towards Li Chun? Zhou Zhou was surprised. He felt that even though he had yet to enter the Immortal Palace, he had already come into contact with a big shot in the Immortal Palace. Moreover, he seemed to have a good personality. Unfortunately, the voice in his mind didn't explain who he was because he didn't have the right to know. Even though Zhou Zhou was even more curious about this, he did not dwell on it. If he could advance to Immortal, he would naturally be able to easily obtain such information. If he couldn't become Undying, Knowing this secret would only be fun, there was no point in dwelling on it. He did not think about this for the time being. He spent another 100 grade 3 Supreme God Realm Divine Crystals to summon today's subject from the Gate of Summoning. This time, he summoned a total of more than 1 trillion subjects, 300 billion more than usual, including 15 grade 3 Supreme God Realm God Spirits. Then, he went to Jade Capital Immortal Mountain alone. After spending 1,000 low-tier deity level elementary grade divine crystals, he called 100 heavenly soldiers, heavenly generals, and heavenly venerates of the capital units. At this moment, in the sky full of stars, another 8,121 completely different starry sky phenomena appeared. It was the cosmic phenomenon of a master god tier becoming a supreme god. Then, 56 different colored wool pillars of light bloomed from the reincarnation sacred palace and shot into the starry sky. It was the advancement phenomenon of a quasi-supreme wool realm expert advancing to the supreme wool realm. At this moment, the experts from various worlds who had been waiting for today's phenomenon, as well as the projections of the supreme will realm experts who were already in Blazing Sun Divine Capital, were still shocked when they saw this scene. F***CK. More than 8,000 newly advanced supreme gods, 56 newly advanced supreme will realm experts. Common people's regal, do you know what you're doing? The supreme great cosmos only had a total of more than 10,000 supreme gods and 55 supreme will realm experts before you. The supreme gods and supreme will realm experts you give birth to in a day are almost comparable to the sum of the supreme great cosmos over the years. Moreover, the projections of some supreme will realm experts were especially excited. Did you see that? Among those new supreme will realm experts, there's a supreme will realm expert under me. I have one too. Me too. Ha 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 ha. I have 2 supreme god subordinates who have been nurtured into supreme will realm experts by Lord Common People's Regal. Lord Common People's Regal, from today onwards, I am your dog. I will go wherever you want me to go. The Regal Great Solar, Regal Great Lunar, God King Heaven Punishment, Spring Autumn Dharma Lord, and even the projection of Lord of 10,000 Evils were among them. They looked at each other and saw the smile and excitement in each other's eyes. This was because they also had more or less supreme god experts under them. Among the 56 newly advanced supreme will realm experts this time, they occupied 1 or even several seats. With these newly advanced supreme will realm experts around, even though it can't alleviate the pressure on the will transcendence realm experts, at least it can relieve the pressure on some supreme will realm experts. The Regal Great Solar stroked his beard and chuckled. The other supreme will realm experts smiled and nodded. After all, they was fighting against the entire illusionist clan with the power of a great cosmos. It was equivalent to fighting against the entire ultimate void great cosmos by themselves. Needless to say, the pressure was immense. The pressure here did not only come from the endless stream of supreme will realm experts from the other party, but also from the endless stream of will transcending experts sent by the other party. It was also because of the supreme will that they could barely defend the twilight battlefield. Otherwise, they would have lost the dusk battlefield long ago and let the illusionist clan attack their hometown and then attack the entire ultimate void great cosmos. However, he could not continue like this even with the help of the supreme will. That was because the supreme will realm expert and all the supreme will transcendent experts of the illusionary race had violated the potential rule of soldiers against soldiers and generals. Needless to say, soon, the illusionist clan would also send experts on the same level as the supreme will to restrain the supreme will. By then, they would be in a terrible situation. Therefore, they heaved a sigh of relief when they saw the supreme will realm experts that Zhou Zhou had nurtured. The more strength they had, the higher the chance of them surviving in their current situation after all. It could also allow the supreme will to break fewer rules. On Zhou Zhou's side, a smile appeared on his face when he saw so many supreme gods and supreme will realm experts being born. He could sense that the universe origin of the supreme great cosmos had not suffered any losses in terms of origin power because of the new experts under him. In fact, because of their advancement, the universe's providence had increased greatly. Those 3 great cosmoses weren't conquered for nothing. These newly advanced supreme gods and supreme will realm powerhouses, as well as the low-tier deity level elementary grade recruits and true god-tier elementary grade recruits, All the origin power that they used was absorbed from the 3 universes that my clones conquered yesterday. Fortunately, it's the origin power extracted from the new universe. Otherwise, if I continue to extract the origin power from the Supreme Universe, I'm afraid I won't even need a Supreme Will Realm expert to be born. My 2.4 Guy units of God Spirit level recruits alone will be able to crush the great cosmos. Moreover, I can feel that the source power of one of the 3 universes has almost been extracted. If I want to level up again, I'll have to start transferring from the other 2 newly conquered universe origins. I have to continue letting my clones conquer the new great cosmos. Otherwise, according to today's trend, there will probably be more God spirits, supreme gods, and supreme will realm experts born tomorrow. The origin energy of 2 great cosmoses might not be enough. At that time, once all the origin power is transferred, I'm afraid the 4 great cosmos, including the supreme great cosmos, will instantly collapse. Then I'm in big trouble. Zhou Zhou clicked his tongue at the thought of the possible consequences. At the same time, another pondered surfaced in his mind. In the future, would it be possible for him to use all the origin energy of the ultimate void great cosmos to advance his subordinates? If it really came to that, what would happen? He couldn't possibly cause the entire ultimate void great cosmos to collapse, right? Zhou Zhou could not help but think. Then, he realized that it seemed to be possible. He hurriedly shook his head, expelling this ridiculous thought from his mind. Let's not worry about that for now. That kind of thing was still very, very far from him. He would think about it when he encountered such a thing in the future. If he really didn't have enough origin energy of all the universes in the ultimate void great cosmos, he could send a clone to the illusionary great cosmos to draw the origin energy of the enemy. As for whether the enemy's illusionary realm would collapse, what did it have to do with him? To be an enemy, one had to have the awareness to be an enemy. At this moment, a figure emitting pure white light appeared in front of Zhou Zhou. It was the Supreme Will. Greetings, Supreme Will. Zhou Zhou said respectfully. Call me teacher. I still like it. The Supreme Will laughed. Teacher, Zhou Zhou immediately said. The Supreme Will smiled and nodded. Then, he looked at the 56 Will pillars of light in the reincarnation sacred palace below, his eyes filled with gratification and surprise. Common people's regal, you give me a big surprise every time I see you. It's all thanks to teacher's good nurturing. Zhou Zhou immediately smiled and said, I didn't help much. I just created an environment suitable for you to grow up in. It's all thanks to your own hard work that you can grow to this point. The Supreme Will said. Then, he said, I promised you previously that as long as you can nurture 50 Supreme Will Realm experts, I will help you increase your Lord talent and advance it to the Lord talent of Transcendent Will. Tell me, which Lord talent do you want to upgrade? I'll make it happen for you. But you have to remember that I can only help you increase your Lord talent to the level of willpower transcendence at most. After 3, I won't be able to help you increase it anymore. My origin power can't create 3 transcendent Lord talents in a short period of time. I understand. Zhou Zhou nodded. Then, he thought for a moment. He originally wanted to say that he wanted to increase the Lord talent of the immortal sacred arc, but he hesitated for a moment and suddenly had the idea of upgrading the other Lord talents. As a result, he fell silent and fell into a dilemma. When the Supreme Will saw his expression, he smiled. He wasn't in a hurry and just waited for him to make a decision. After a long time, he took a deep breath and said, Teacher, I want to upgrade the protection of the Supreme God of War, Terrence, as a Lord talent with transcendent willpower. Sure, good choice. The Supreme Will nodded in approval of his choice. After making his decision, Zhou Zhou heaved a sigh of relief and no longer hesitated. Deep down, he still wanted this kind of Lord talent that could quickly increase the strength of his subordinates. Even though he also needed the life-saving Lord talent, he was no longer chasing after it as crazily as before. Moreover, there was a key reason. He was now relying on his transcendent level unique Lord talent, supreme in heaven, to have a chance of dropping transcendent level resurrection type loots when he looted the enemy's loots. It was used to resurrect transcendent level powerhouses. In addition, as the top elites of the ultimate void great cosmos, unless they encountered a top-notch existence like Saint Emperor Daheng or a bug-class elite like him, it was almost impossible for them to die. It was naturally useful to forcefully upgrade a resurrection Lord talent with transcendent willpower, but the chances of using it were not high. Unless he was prepared to revive his enemy. Only then could he use this Lord talent frequently. However, Zhou Zhou was not stupid. Why would he revive his enemy? Therefore, Zhou Zhou really did not have much motivation to improve this Lord talent. In addition, the number of Lord talents that the Supreme Will could increase was limited. Therefore, after careful consideration, Zhou Zhou decided to increase the Lord talent of the Supreme God of War. If this Lord talent was upgraded to the level of Will Transcendence, he was even confident that he could double the number of powerhouses under him every day. At this moment, the Supreme Will walked in front of Zhou Zhou and gently tapped his glabella. The familiar gentle power entered Zhou Zhou's Will origin core from the Supreme Will's finger and began to advance to the protection of his supreme, unique Lord talent, the Supreme God of War. This time, it took more than 4 hours for the Supreme Will to upgrade this Lord talent to the transcendent level, unique Lord talent. After the upgrade, Zhou Zhou suddenly saw that the Supreme Will's body was on the verge of collapse. Zhou Zhou could not help but be shocked. He immediately went forward to support the Supreme Will. "Teacher, I'm fine. I just used up a lot of energy." The Supreme Will shook his head with a bitter smile. "The Lord talents on you are really strange. An ordinary Lord talent has never consumed so much of my Lord talent when it was raised to the level of willpower transcendence. But you're using up so much energy. Upgrading your transcendent level unique Lord talent can upgrade 5 to 6 other transcendent level unique Lord talents." Zhou Zhou looked embarrassed when he heard that. He did not know why his Lord talent would consume so much energy to level up. Actually, that's a good thing. This means that the Lord talents you chose all have extremely high potential. They might even transform into legendary immortal skills in the future. The Supreme Will smiled weakly. When Zhou Zhou saw this, he did not answer. Instead, he took out many supplements from his #1 treasure vault and handed them to the Supreme Will. "Teacher, I have some supplements to replenish the will of a transcendent expert. Please nourish yourself and rest well." The Supreme Will was stunned when he saw this. He could tell that these supplements were indeed supplements that transcended the level of willpower. Every one of them was very beneficial to him. They could even completely make up for his previous deficit. Then he laughed. "Then I won't stand on the ceremony." The Supreme Will smiled and accepted these supplements. Then he didn't say anything else and directly disappeared in front of Zhou Zhou. Only then did Zhou Zhou have the time to look at his newly advanced transcendent Lord talent. Lord talent. Protection of the Will of War. Transcendence. Unique. Specific talent effect 1. Will of War. Transcendence blessing. The Great Will of War has transcended blessings for you and your combat-type professionals. After you and your combat-type professionals kill the enemy, you will receive an additional 1,000 times of promotion energy. Specific talent effect 2. War fanatic. When you and your combat-type professionals reach the limit of your potential, you can break through the limit of your potential through life and death battles, comprehend law skills, or even willpower skills, and reach a new realm of strength. The upper limit is superior willpower transcendence. Specific talent effect 3. Heart of War. Every time you and your combat-type professionals experience a war, your willpower level will increase to varying degrees due to the tempering of the war until you advance to the superior willpower level. Zhou Zhou nodded in satisfaction after reading it. Zhou Zhou was very satisfied with the Beyonder Lord talent, the protection of the will of war after reading it. First of all, just being able to obtain 1,000 times the promotion energy when killing enemies was an extremely exaggerated talent effect. This was equivalent to a Supreme Will Realm expert obtaining all the advancement force for murdering 1,000 low-level Supreme Will Realm experts after killing another low-level Supreme Will Realm expert. There were a total of 1,000 of them. Ordinary Supreme Will Realm experts might not be able to encounter 1,000 Supreme Will Realm experts in their lives, but his subordinates could already easily obtain the promotion energy to kill 1,000 Supreme Will Realm experts. If it was a transcendent expert with a will, the effect would be even more exaggerated. Killing a will transcending expert was equivalent to directly obtaining the promotion energy of killing 1,000 will transcending experts after all. As for the Supreme Will Realm or the will transcending realm, what was the meaning of obtaining promotion energy for experts at these two stages? The answer was, after the powerhouses in these two stages obtain the promotion energy, It was equivalent to carrying out one or more crusades against the main body of the abnormal timeline, obtaining a growth effect equivalent to killing the main body of the abnormal timeline. To give a simple example, after a low-level Supreme Will Realm expert killed 1,000 alternate timeline main bodies, his subordinates only needed to kill a low-level Supreme Will Realm expert to achieve the growth and strengthening they had obtained. It could be said that, with the protection of the Will of War, the Supreme Will Realm experts and willpower experts under him would save a lot of cultivation time and advance rapidly. In the past, his subordinates didn't have such a killing growth effect, because the protection of the Supreme God of War, Terrence, at that time was only a supreme unique Lord talent. It only had this kind of killing growth effect on living beings below the Supreme God level. Now that this Lord talent had been upgraded to Transcendence, the only Lord talent, only then could he obtain 1,000 times the promotion energy after killing the Supreme Will Realm and Willpower Realm experts, greatly saving the cultivation time of the Supreme Will Realm and Willpower Realm experts. With the blessing of the Will of War, I can even stop cultivating the All-Origin as one. It's much faster to directly kill Supreme Will Realm enemies and Willpower enemies than to cultivate the All-Origin as one. As long as I can increase my Will Technique and Will Origin Power Realm, I can quickly increase my cultivation realm at the Supreme Will Realm and the Will Control Realm. Zhou Zhou was satisfied. With this Lord talent, the growth speed of the generals and soldiers under him, especially the consecrators at the Supreme Will Realm and Willpower Realm, would increase by 1,000 times. Following that, he sensed Terrence's situation. In the end, he was surprised to discover that Terrence was still at the level of a grade 4 Supreme God. He had not been promoted to a powerhouse with transcendent willpower because of the increase in his Lord talent. The moment he had this thought appear in his mind, he couldn't help but laugh. If a Will Transcendence level expert was so easy to create, the Supreme Great Cosmos would no longer be just a Will Transcendence level expert. Furthermore, even if the Supreme Will could create a transcendent expert with its own hands, in that case, the price he would have to pay was probably not as simple as expending his origin. Instead, he would have to pay a price at the level of severely injuring his origin. The Supreme Will was not stupid. It was fine as long as he helped his disciple increase his Lord talent. He would definitely not go further and create a powerhouse with a transcendent will. He wouldn't do this either if it were him. There was no need. At this moment, the Supreme Will Realm experts of the Supreme Great Cosmos could no longer hold back. They flew over and found their new Supreme Will Realm experts among the 56 new Supreme Will Realm experts. Among the 56 new Supreme Will Realm experts, 22 were immediately pulled away. The remaining 34 newly advanced Supreme Will Realm experts were the Supreme Will Realm experts of the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom. Zhou Zhou smiled when he saw this and naturally did not mind. Instead, he took the initiative to walk up and chat with them. Finally, he generously gave every Supreme Will Realm expert and many Supreme Gods present a set of holy artifacts and Supreme Divine artifacts that were suitable for them. New experts, as well as experts who have received gifts and borrowed divine artifacts and holy artifacts from this emperor. Now, our Supreme Great Cosmos is being invaded by the illusionary race. It's different this time. The powerhouses who have been fighting in the Dusk battlefield should have sensed the strength of the illusionist clan's invasion. There's no need to say anything about the Supreme Gods. Even Supreme Will Realm experts and Willpower experts are coming endlessly without regard for their lives. If their attack succeeds, our Supreme Great Cosmos and the neighboring Crimson Great Cosmos aren't the only ones destroyed. The entire Ultimate Void Great Cosmos will suffer because of this. So I decided to make a decision. From today onwards, all divine artifacts or will holy artifacts that this emperor has gifted or borrowed will belong to everyone. In the future, if our Supreme Great Cosmos has new Supreme Gods, new Supreme Will Realms, and even new Transcendent level experts, you can come to this emperor and receive a set of divine artifacts or holy artifacts that are suitable for you for free. This emperor doesn't have any other intentions in giving you these. I just hope that when you fight the enemy, you will have a few more advantages so that you can defeat the enemy or at least not die or suffer fewer injuries. This emperor wants these. I hope that all the deities and willpower level experts who have obtained the divine artifacts or holy artifacts that this emperor gave away can take care of themselves when fighting outside. The Supreme Will Realm experts and Supreme Gods were all very emotional and touched when they heard this, especially those experts who had received Zhou Zhou's gifts of divine artifacts or holy artifacts. They were even more convinced by Zhou Zhou's sacrifice and magnanimity. At this moment, Zhou Zhou spoke again. Also, I believe everyone already knows that this emperor's matters at the Twilight battlefield have been completed. So this emperor has decided. This emperor will bring most of the generals and soldiers under him to the Twilight battlefield to fight alongside everyone. I didn't come in the past because I wasn't strong enough back then. Therefore, under my and everyone's persuasion, I temporarily put aside the idea of coming to the Twilight battlefield in advance. However, now, my strength has already surpassed most of the Supreme Will Realm experts in the Supreme Great Cosmos. Many willpower experts have even died under this emperor's hands. If this emperor still doesn't come now, this emperor will really become a coward. Therefore, for the safety and future of our Supreme Great Cosmos, this emperor will become comrades with everyone and fight against the invasion of the illusionary race together. Clap, clap, clap. All the experts who heard Zhou Zhou's words clapped with smiles on their faces. At this moment, some experts stood up and said that with Zhou Zhou's ability, he could completely stay behind and nurture more Supreme Will Realm experts for their Supreme Great Cosmos. He could use this indirect contribution method to resist the invasion of the illusionary race. They felt that instead of letting Zhou Zhou enter the Twilight battlefield and engage in a life-and-death battle with the enemy, it was better to stay behind and constantly create more experts for their Supreme Great Cosmos. The effect of this would definitely be greater than Zhou Zhou personally entering the battlefield and fighting the enemy face to face. Otherwise, once Zhou Zhou died on the Twilight battlefield, the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom would lose the ability to create more Supreme Will Realm experts. Then, the Supreme Great Cosmos might suffer even greater losses. The other powerhouses also began to think. They suddenly recalled the hundreds of Supreme Will Realm experts that Zhou Zhou had created during this period of time. They suddenly realized something. Zhou Zhou had unknowingly created so many experts for the Supreme Great Cosmos. In addition to the contributions he had made in the past, such as giving away divine artifacts, holy artifacts, and inheritances, he had almost single-handedly increased the combat strength of the Supreme Great Cosmos by more than 2 to 3 times. The more they thought about it, the more shocked they were. At the same time, he realized how important Zhou Zhou was to the Supreme Great Cosmos. At this moment, they even had a bold idea. Maybe the current Zhou Zhou had unknowingly grown to the point of being as important as the Supreme Great Cosmos. He had already quietly surpassed God King Heaven Punishment, Spring Autumn Dharma Lord, and Lord of 10,000 Evils, the 3 so-called Supreme Lord Reserve armies, when the experts were not paying attention, and they, who had such thoughts, also agreed to not let Zhou Zhou enter the Twilight battlefield. At this moment, most of the Supreme Will Realm experts actually felt that it was better for Zhou Zhou to stay at the back of the battlefield. As for shouting and fighting, it was better to leave it to experts like them. It did not matter if they died. As long as Zhou Zhou and the Supreme Will did not die, they would always have hope in the Supreme Great Cosmos. When Zhou Zhou heard the thoughts of these experts, he was a little touched, but he felt more helpless. Everyone, this emperor has made up his mind, Zhou Zhou said in a deep voice. Everyone, you don't have to persuade this emperor anymore. This emperor will definitely go to the Dusk battlefield. However, everyone, don't worry. This emperor is only sending a clone. His main body won't go. When the masters heard this, some of them heaved a sigh of relief, but there were also some who muttered, what if we encounter a method that can implicate our main bodies? Zhou Zhou naturally heard what these experts said, but he had no intention of responding at all. What a joke. Now that he had the protection of the will of war, the only Lord Talent, how could he not go to a powerful enemy like the Twilight battlefield? Oh, no. It should be a place where promotion energy and loot were everywhere. Now that he had the protection of the will of war, the only Lord Talent, how could he not go to a powerful enemy like the Twilight battlefield? Oh, no. It should be a place where promotion energy and loot were everywhere. Following that, Zhou Zhou chatted with these experts for a while more. Then, he watched as them happily left with their newly promoted experts and rushed to the dusk battlefield. Then, Zhou Zhou began to calculate the strength of his main combat army. His original military strength was 11,685 Guy units, 7,491 capital units, 123,728,702,893,931 soldiers, 3,123 Guy unit, 2,382 capital units, 238,127,781,387 God spirits, 723,368,222,272 true God tiers, 125,254,605 supremacy gods, 11,921 supreme gods, 89 supreme will realm experts, and 12 transcendent level experts, including the 4 God Spirit level new recruits recruited and changed professions today, 100 capital units heavenly soldiers, 1,223,492,381 new Master God tiers, 8,121 new Supreme Gods, and 34 Supreme will realm experts. The total number of troops under him had already reached 11,685 Guy units, 7,591 capital units, 12,337,228,931 soldiers, 27,123,382 capital units, 238,123,348,271 God spirits, 72,336,822,272 true God tiers, 1,348,746,986 supremacy gods, 20,042 supreme gods, 123 supreme will realm experts, and 12 transcendent will experts. Zhou Zhou was satisfied. Now, a strange phenomenon had appeared among the generals and soldiers under him. The number of ordinary God spirits actually exceeded the number of ordinary soldiers below the God spirit level. If it was in another lord's faction, it would definitely be a fantasy. No one would believe it. However, in Zhou Zhou's blazing sun divine kingdom, it had become a reality that was visible to the naked eye. As I recruit more and more God spirit level recruits, non-God spirit soldiers will gradually grow into God spirit level soldiers. The number of non-God spirit generals and soldiers under my command will decrease. As I recruit more and more God spirit level recruits, non-God spirit soldiers will gradually grow into God spirit level soldiers. The number of non-God spirit generals and soldiers under my command will decrease. An army of God spirits. Just thinking about it makes me look forward to it. Zhou Zhou thought expectantly. In addition to the number of God spirit level soldiers that exceeded the number of non-God spirit level soldiers, the supreme gods under him had already reached 20,000. The number of supreme will realm experts had even surpassed 100 and reached the terrifying level of 123. There were also more than 10 experts with transcending wills. My current faction is no longer just the #1 faction in the supreme great cosmos. Even in the ultimate void cosmos, my blazing sun divine kingdom can definitely be considered a top-notch lord faction. Zhou Zhou lamented. This was under the premise that he wasn't an abnormal powerhouse. He felt that his current faction was probably second only to top factions like the Daheng Ultimate Holy Empire and the Yellow Heaven Great Cosmos that were protected by quasi-eternal realm experts if he was included in the powerful combat strength of him and his many clones. Then, he returned to the Reincarnation Sacred Palace and continued cultivating. He wanted to raise his cultivation level to the high-level Supreme Will realm as soon as possible. Then, it would be best if he could subdue a few dozen more experts with transcendent level wills. Then, he would upgrade all the law skills on his to willpower skills that matched his current strength. When the time comes, he dared to challenge the entire Yellow Sky Great Cosmos. As long as he could take down the entire Yellow Heaven Great Cosmos, with the resources of a top-notch Lord Great Cosmos like the Yellow Heaven Great Cosmos, he was confident that he could raise his Lord faction to a level where his willpower transcended in a short period of time. In the Crimson Great Cosmos, Zhou 15 was dealing with government affairs in the Succubus Shrine. At this moment, a supreme god of the human race walked over quickly and said respectfully, "Your Majesty, I have something to report." "Shoot," Zhou 15 said without looking up. "Your Majesty, just now, I received news. The Master God Tier Lord factions, Supreme God factions, and Supreme Will Realm factions in the Crimson Great Cosmos seem to have finally discovered our sudden rise. They realized that we had recently annexed and killed a large number of Master God Tier kingdoms. So they joined forces and prepared to attack our Succubus Divine Kingdom together. They had already organized more than 100 beginner-grade Master God Tier nations and more than 10,000 Divine Kingdom Lords. They have gathered more than 1,000 Guy unit troops and are advancing towards our Succubus Divine Kingdom." The Supreme God reported respectfully. "What did you say?" "More than 100 beginner-grade Master God Tier kingdoms." Zhou 15 hurriedly looked up and asked. "Yes, Your Majesty," the Supreme God of the human race said respectfully. "Ha ha ha. I've searched high and low for you. It didn't take much effort. The upgrade of the main body's kingdom requires the conquest of 100 beginner-grade Master God Tier Lord territories under the Crimson Overlord. I originally planned to build it myself in the Crimson Great Cosmos. I didn't expect these guys to come knocking on my door." Zhou 15 couldn't help but laugh. Then, he asked curiously, "How did these guys build it so quickly?" "This is a 100 beginner-grade Master God Tier kingdom. It's said that the higher-ups of the Scarlet Clan have made a move. They heard about His Majesty's achievements in the Supreme Great Cosmos. They were unwilling to see their side fall behind. So they personally took action and took out their treasures and heritage to help the Scarlet Divine Kingdom below build a large number of Master God Tier kingdoms. It's said that this is only the first batch of Scarlet Master God Tier kingdoms. There will be more Scarlet Master God Tier kingdoms and even Supreme God kingdoms established in the future." "I see." Zhou 15 nodded and couldn't help but laugh. "However, isn't it a little too late to only think of helping the people below build the Master God Tier kingdom now? The main body has already upgraded the country to a Grade 2 Supreme Kingdom. These slow-witted **stards. Eating shit isn't as hot as eating shit." "Your Majesty is right," this Supreme God of the human race also said respectfully. Forget it. This Emperor is asking you, how strong is the strongest person in the Scarlet Alliance army? Zhou 15 asked. "Reporting to Your Majesty, according to the scouting results of the Heavenly Map Army, the strongest person in this Scarlet Alliance army is only at the high-level Supreme Will Realm. There are no Will Transcendence level experts." The Supreme God of the human race reported. "I still haven't hurt these guys. If that's the case, inform the Legion commander of the Succubus Legion and let them lead the soldiers below the Supreme Will Realm to fight this group of Scarlet Alliance army. I remember that the total number of soldiers in our Succubus Divine Kingdom is around 300 Guy units, right? Have you completed the class advancement of the Sages of the Untainted Land and the Supreme Divine Demon?" Zhou 15 asked. "Reporting to Your Majesty, all the generals and soldiers have already completed the class advancement of the Supreme Soldier types. Up until now, they have roughly familiarized themselves with the combat abilities of these two top-notch soldier types. They are just short of a real battle." The Supreme God of the human race said respectfully. "Then there's no problem. Using 300 Guy unit troops against 1,000 Guy unit troops. Even without these two Supreme Soldier types, the advantage is still mine. Not to mention them, who have already transitioned to a Supreme Soldier type." Zhou 15 smiled and said seriously, "If that's the case, then let's just defeat them. After you guys completely eliminate these guys, this Emperor will immediately inform the main body and let him immediately upgrade the country." "Yes, Your Majesty," the Supreme God of the human race said respectfully. Then, he turned around and left. When Zhou 15 saw this, he lowered his head and continued to deal with the government affairs. Within the boundless ultimate void great cosmos, at this moment, Zhou Yu was leading a total of 5 Supreme Will Realm experts, 50 Supreme Will Realm experts, 10,000 Supreme Gods, and more than one God. He was piloting a Supreme-level spaceship and moving forward in the ultimate void great cosmos. The surrounding stars were resplendent, and one could vaguely see countless universes lying in the ultimate void, displaying their huge universe size and magnificent universe scenery. In the lead spaceship, Zhou Yu had no time to look at the beautiful scenery in the universe. Instead, he focused on the star map in front of him. 0. How far is it from NATO Great Cosmos? How long will it take to get there? Zhou Yu suddenly asked. Reporting to your majesty, currently, we are still 13,572 universe units away from the NATO Great Cosmos. It will take about 35 minutes, 27.41 seconds to arrive. Zero said respectfully. Half an hour to get there. Zhou 15 frowned slightly. In addition to the time I spent fighting with the multiverse factions, wouldn't it be difficult for me to conquer 10 multiverse factions today? Your Majesty's calculations are very accurate, Zero said. With our speed, before we return at night, we should be able to conquer the 9 universe factions. The forces of the 9 universes. Zhou Yu calculated in his heart and suddenly said, no, this number is not enough. It can only satisfy the short-term needs of our blazing sun divine kingdom. Once the timeline begins to open, more and more supreme will realm experts, and even transcendent experts will be born in the blazing sun divine kingdom. Most importantly, the number of gods in the blazing sun divine kingdom will become more and more terrifying. There's even no need for supreme gods and supreme will realm experts. Just the birth of a god spirit-level soldier type is enough to suck dry the origin energy of the great cosmos under the blazing sun divine kingdom's current command. Zhou Yu frowned as he thought. Today, in the blazing sun divine kingdom, they had recruited a total of 2.40 supreme soldier types with the strength of god spirits. This was an extremely terrifying number. It could be said that, at the moment, all the god spirits in the supreme great cosmos added together were not as many as this. This was not the end. He could sense that the number of god spirits born in the blazing sun divine kingdom would definitely increase every day, and it would double as his main body began to decide to increase the level of his territory at full speed and expand his territory's influence. 2.40 units of god spirits was already a terrifying number. If he could continuously double it on this foundation, Zhou Yu felt a little terrifying just thinking about it. Yes, this was the first time Zhou Yu had used the word terrifying to describe the feeling of the god spirit growing too much. It was ridiculous. However, this was a reality for the blazing sun divine kingdom. Therefore, in order to increase the number of god-level soldier types in the blazing sun divine kingdom and prevent them from instantly sucking up the supreme great cosmos, and the great cosmos that the blazing sun divine kingdom had just controlled, Zhou Yu felt that he had to bear the responsibility. He had to hurry up and increase the number of great cosmos-level territories for then and the blazing sun divine kingdom, so as to prepare for the increasing number of god spirit soldier types in the future. The supreme great cosmos was the foundation of the blazing sun divine kingdom. It could not be lost. Zero, tell me, among the information you currently know, is there any place with a transcendent level transportation method? Zhou Yu asked. Searching. Search successful. Reporting to your majesty. Zero found 2 places that meet his majesty's requirements. The first is the Hengyuan Great Cosmos. This universe is about 136,212,572 units away from us. It has 10 transcendent level universe ships within. 10 transcendent level ships? Zhou Yu was shocked. Why are there so many precious top-grade universe ships in Hengyuan Great Cosmos? Even if it was just a transcendent-grade spaceship, it was still a top-notch strategic transportation vehicle in the ultimate void Great Cosmos. Even a power like the Daheng Ultimate Holy Empire would cherish it very much. Reporting to your majesty, the Hengyuan Great Cosmos is the origin of the Saint Emperor Daheng. It is the hometown of the Saint Emperor Daheng. The Saint Emperor Daheng specially left 10 transcendent-level spaceships and a large number of top-notch experts here to protect his hometown. Zhou Yu, why didn't you say so earlier? Next, Zhou Yu said helplessly. He would definitely not recklessly challenge the Sacred Emperor of Daheng at this stage, nor would he give the Sacred Emperor of Daheng any excuse to attack. Therefore, even though he coveted these 10 transcendent-level spaceships, he did not provoke them. Yes, your majesty. The other place with a transcendent mode of transportation is a multi-universe faction called Alligator Great Cosmos. The ruler of this multiverse faction is a dragon with an upper-level willpower that transcends. He is carrying a multiverse called Alligator Great Cosmos that he created on his back. He is constantly wandering in the ultimate void cosmos. According to the records in my information bank, The alligator great cosmos rarely appears in the sight of the life forms of the great cosmos. Even the ancient Daheng Ultimate Holy Empire only has 2 records of the Linglong Great Cosmos. And just now, my radar just happened to capture his location. The alligator Great Cosmos is extremely fast. It can even be said to be the fastest in the Great Cosmos. It's said that he only needs 7 days to reach the end of the ultimate Great Cosmos from the beginning of the ultimate Great Cosmos. Other than the Eternal Realm experts, he is said to be the only one who has seen the end of the ultimate void Great Cosmos. At the same time, his speed perfectly meets His Majesty's high requirements for movement speed. It can completely replace the supreme spaceship that His Majesty and his army are in and meet His Majesty's requirements to attack many multiverse factions in a short period of time. Zhou Zhou raised his brows when he heard this and said, "What a coincidence. There can't be any traps, right? The Daheng Ultimate Holy Empire has existed for such a long time, and it has only recorded 2 records regarding the dragon. Why did we encounter it the moment we came up? Furthermore, it's a transportation vehicle that I just said we needed to travel at high speeds, and then the other party appeared in front of us. This was simply as if God had arranged it." Zhou Zhou was a cautious person. It would be weird if he did not find it strange. "Your Majesty, according to this subject's calculations, the appearance of the dragon was indeed not a coincidence. First of all, the other party has extremely serious injuries. The other party should have fought a top-notch expert and fled here after being severely injured. That's why he was forced to change his previous obscure habits and appear in front of us. Secondly, I'm guessing that His Majesty's immense providence attracted him to us unknowingly." Zhou Zhou was stunned when he heard this. Then, he recalled his Supreme in Heaven Lord talent. One of the effects was, "Supreme in Heaven, Supreme I. With supreme luck, no matter what you want, it will always appear in front of you. Even if some things are very rare, you can obtain what you want through your almost insignificant efforts. When you encounter danger, your supreme luck will imperceptibly break through your crisis. Could it really be because of my supreme luck?" Zhou Zhou pondered for a while and decided to give it a try. "How far is this alligator Great Cosmos from us?" "Your Majesty, the alligator Great Cosmos is currently 6,311 cosmic units away from us. The other party is slowly escaping. There won't be much deviation in position for the time being." Zhou Zhou thought for a few seconds and made a decision. "Give this emperor a supreme spaceship and the normal military strength of a spaceship. This emperor wants to take a look at this dragon and see if there's any possibility of subduing it. As for the other troops, follow the normal plan and head to the NATO Great Cosmos to carry out the subjugation mission." "Yes, Your Majesty. Replacement in progress. Replacement complete. Your Majesty, should we change course immediately?" "Change. It's changing. Estimated 14 minutes, 32 seconds, and 12 milliseconds." Zhou Zhou nodded slightly and waited quietly. A moment later, the spaceship that Zhou Zhou and them were in arrived in front of Alligator Great Cosmos. He stood up and looked at the dragon carrying the universe on its back. He frowned slightly. The black dragon armor cracked, and blood spilled out from the gaps in the scales. A huge hole pierced through the other party's chest and abdomen. Every time it twitched, a cosmic crystal wall would fall into the universe through the tip of the claw. Large amounts of dark golden blood condensed into scabs on his surface. The universe reflected in its right eye, and pupil was fading at a speed visible to the naked eye. The multiverse behind him was also on the verge of collapse. Chaotic airflow kept disintegrating. Clearly, it wouldn't be long before this multiverse completely collapsed. Sure enough, this fellow was seriously injured and was on the verge of death. Seeing this, Zhou Zhou did not waste any time and teleported in front of the other party. "Alligator, this emperor is the common people's sacred king. Are you willing to submit to this emperor? If you submit to this emperor can treat your injuries." He went straight to the point. The alligator was stunned and could not react for a moment. Zhou Zhou frowned slightly and directly took out a light red pill from the #1 treasure vault and threw it to the other party. "This emperor understands the injuries on your body. This emperor happens to have a transcendent divine medicine that can allow you to recover instantly. Eat it, and you will recover quickly." The alligator subconsciously opened his mouth and caught the divine medicine that made him restless. In the next second, a miracle happened. The injuries on his body actually rapidly recovered, as if time had reversed. In less than a minute, his injuries had already recovered to their original state. Even the multiverse behind he had recovered completely, as if he had suffered any injuries. Alligator was shocked. What kind of precious medicine is this? Is the effect of a transcendent-level precious medicine really that good? It is simply like a precious medicine tailor-made for him. And in the face of Zhou Yu's offer of amnesty, Alligator hesitated for a moment before saying, "Your Majesty's sacred king, I've long heard of your reputation. You saved me, so I can naturally agree to it. It's just that I have enemies chasing after me now." "It's really, you mean him?" Zhou Yu suddenly pointed at a high-level expert who had just teleported out of the void. When the other party saw Alligator, a ferocious expression appeared on his face. As for Zhou Yu, who was emitting the aura of a middle-level supreme will realm expert beside him, he directly ignored him. "Old thing, be my mount obediently, and I'll spare your life. Otherwise," a golden fist shadow suddenly descended, directly crushing this upper-level expert with a transcendent-level will. He died without any possibility of revival. Zhou Yu turned around and looked at Alligator. "Are you willing to submit to this emperor now?" Alligator. The Alligator joined the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom without hesitation and became the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom's strongest transportation vehicle. At the same time, it was also the strongest transportation vehicle in the current Ultimate Void Great Cosmos. Not only had he been saved by the common people's sacred king, his enemy had also been dealt with by the common people's sacred king. How could he not agree? He would never admit that he had no choice but to join the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom because he was afraid that the common people's sacred king would use such a method on him after seeing his methods. Well, definitely not. Zhou Yu naturally did not care so much. He only knew that the other party had indeed agreed to join his divine kingdom. That was enough. 0. Recalculate for this emperor. How many multiverse factions can we conquer in a day with the help of the Alligator? Zhou Yu immediately asked. "Your Majesty, I've already finished calculating. With the Alligator's average speed, I've come to the conclusion that we can at most conquer 24 multiverse forces in a day." Zhou Yu nodded in satisfaction and said, "In that case, let's set off now. Let's catch up with the soldiers who have scattered to conquer the various cosmic forces. After we reorganize, they will go and conquer the various cosmic forces in the ultimate void great cosmos." "Yes, Your Majesty," Zero said respectfully. Then, it immediately ordered the Alligator to follow His Majesty's instructions. When Alligator saw Zhou Yu's order and the route map, it sighed softly. It thought to itself, the carefree, lazy days are over. Then, it did not dare to resist and obediently followed the designated route at full speed. Dusk Battlefield. Zhou Fight began to observe the battlefield seriously after he led his army here. After Zhou Fight led his army here, he began to observe the battlefield seriously. On this battlefield, the shattered sky was torn into a dim, yellow vortex. The skeletons of God's spirits were scattered all over the ground. Above the skeletons floated the dusk karmic fire that even God's spirits feared. He looked up at the sky and realized that there were many stars in the starry sky. It was said that on the twilight battlefield, the divine spark or will origin core of the dead would turn into stars and embed in the sky here. It was unknown how long this place had existed and how many wars it had experienced. At a glance, there were actually countless stars in the sky. Zhou Fight sighed and retracted his gaze. At this moment, Bai Yun, who came with Zhou Fight, flew over quickly and said respectfully, "Your Majesty, there is a troop of soldiers from the illusionist clan coming to our side. How should we deal with them?" "What a coincidence. We met the enemy as soon as we arrived." Zhou Fight frowned and asked, "How many soldiers are there in the illusionist clan? Who is the strongest?" "Your Majesty, according to the intelligence of the Heavenly Map Army, the other party has about 100 Guy Unit God Spirit level soldiers, 20 Guy Unit God Spirit level True God tiers, 1,000,000 Supremacy Gods, 1,000 Supreme Gods, and 5 Supreme Will Realm Experts. As for those with transcending willpower, we have yet to discover them." Zhou Yu laughed when he heard that. It had to be known that the main body attached great importance to this trip to the Dusk Battlefield. Therefore, other than the Homeland Defense Army, the Yellow Sky Great Cosmos Battlefield Army, the Crimson Great Cosmos Battlefield Army, the Supreme Great Cosmos Battlefield Army, and the Universe Conquest Army led by Zhou Yu in the Ultimate Void Great Cosmos. All the remaining soldiers and God Spirits were arranged under him. Just the ordinary God Spirits alone numbered 5,000 Guy units and 200 trillion True God tiers. As for the other god spirits, there were still 500 million supremacy gods, 5,000 supreme gods, 30 supreme will realm experts, and 5 will transcendence experts. The main thing was to be cautious and foolproof. Under such circumstances, the other party actually dared to bring such a small number of troops and take the initiative to rush up to be my enemy? This was not an enemy. This was a dish delivered to his door. Destroy them. Zhou Fight waved his hand casually. Yes, your majesty. Bai Yin nodded respectfully. Then, he immediately led an army to destroy this illusionist clan. A moment later, Bai Yin led the army back. Reporting to your majesty. Everything has been resolved. He reported respectfully. Zhou Fight nodded. Then, he looked at the dusk battlefield that was filled with fire and blood and ordered. Let's meet up with teacher first. As soon as he finished speaking, a map and the voice of the Supreme will appeared in his mind. There were only 2 words. Come quickly. With a solemn expression, Zhou Fight immediately shared the map with Zero. Then, he got Zero to pilot a high-level Supreme Will Realm spaceship and lead the army to the location mentioned by the Supreme Will Realm. Dusk Battlefield, the place where the Illusionist clan and the Supreme Great Cosmos were fighting. At this moment, the 2 armies were engaged in a white-hot battle. Both sides had invested close to 1,000 Gai unit god spirits. At this moment, the nearly 1,000 Gai unit god spirits had been annihilated to the point where only 200 Gai units were left. More than 800 Gai unit god spirits perished in this battlefield that could be called a god spirit meat grinder. Apart from the god spirits, as many as 10 Supreme Will Realm experts from both sides died. 6 of them were from the Supreme Great Cosmos. The other 4 were from the Illusionist clan. However, fortunately, because they had the divine resurrection medicine that Zhou Zhou had given them, not only had the 6 Supreme Will level experts that had fallen been resurrected, but they had also returned to the battlefield in perfect condition. At this moment, the God King Heaven Punishment, Spring Autumn Dharma Lord, and Lord of 10,000 Evils, who were standing at the back of the battlefield, looked at the battlefield below with grave expressions. A Supreme Will Realm expert said in a low voice, "Our willpower level experts and God Spirit level soldiers are decreasing as we fight, but the other party can continuously transport more God Spirit level soldiers and willpower level experts from their illusionary world. How are we going to fight next? If we continue fighting, we'll run out of ammunition and food." Sigh. Even though the common people's regal gave us a large number of resurrection treasures and healing treasures, it takes time to revive and heal. We can't catch up to the other party's reinforcements at all. It's already very good that we can do this. We're using the power of a multiverse faction to resist the attack of the illusionary race, which is comparable to the entire Ultimate Void multiverse after all. We can be proud. Now is not the time to sigh. We don't need to be arrogant. What we need is a solution. Why are you so fierce to me? What else can I do other than lament? Do you expect me to come up with a solution? Even if Saint Emperor Daheng comes over to solve it, he might not be able to solve it. The contents of the conversation between these Supreme Will Realm experts entered God King Heaven Punishment's ears. They knew that under the continuous attacks of the Illusionist clan, the morale of them had become unstable. However, he really didn't know what to do. If there was really no other way, he could only ask his teacher to stall for time again. However, this could only resolve the temporary pain. Before long, when the other party sent experts of the same level, the situation would only become more dangerous. At this moment, the voice of the Supreme Will appeared in one's mind. He was stunned for a moment before he looked around in surprise. He saw a lonely spaceship appear in the distance. Even though there was only one spaceship, when he saw the flag of the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom on it, he suddenly relaxed a lot, as if the current crisis had been greatly alleviated. What's that? At this moment, many powerhouses also discovered the spaceship that was flying towards them. Then, they quickly saw the symbol of the stars on it. It's the flag of the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom. The Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom has sent an army to support us. There's the aura of the common people's regal in that spaceship. The common people's regal is here too. I told you that the common people's regal would definitely come. Am I right? Actually, with common people's regal's ability to nurture strong people, I think it's better to stay at the back. The Supreme Will Realm experts were very surprised. At this moment, the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom spaceship had already arrived on the battlefield. It slowly stopped, and the cabin door opened. Immediately after, 5,000 Guy unit God spirits, 200 trillion true God tiers, 500 million supremacy gods, 5,000 supreme gods, 30 supreme will realm experts, and 5 supreme will transcendent experts walked out one after another. Then, they quickly organized themselves and lined up neatly in the sky above the battlefield. Their military uniforms looked down at the ancient blood-colored battlefield below in an orderly manner. The experts looked at the terrifying pressure emitted by the other party and suddenly realized that something was wrong. No, something is very wrong. Did you notice that the soldier types of the generals and soldiers of the common people's regal have changed? They seem to have become more advanced. This aura is so familiar. I seem to have seen it somewhere before. I remember now. I once felt this aura from the soldiers of the Supreme Will's Supreme Army. However, that's the aura of a supreme soldier type. Could it be that all the soldiers under the common people's regal have also been promoted to supreme soldier types? It can't be wrong. I can tell too. This is definitely a supreme soldier type. Oh my god, there are thousands of supreme Guy unit soldier types, and all of them have the strength of God spirits. I feel that even Lord Supreme Will's Supreme Army can't compare to them. The origin of the common people's regal soldier profession is always a mystery. The soldiers brought by the common people's regal are so strong, and there are so many of them. I feel like we're saved. That's right, we're saved. A Supreme Will Realm expert reacted and immediately cheered. The other Supreme Will Realm experts also reacted with joy on their faces. God King Heaven Punishment, Spring Autumn Dharma Lord, Lord of 10,000 evils, and they were no exception. Second brother is indeed second brother. Awesome. The Lord of 10,000 evils said happily. The God King Heaven Punishment and Spring Autumn Dharma Lord smiled and nodded. At this moment, Zhou Fight also flew out of the spaceship and looked at the battlefield below. Then, perhaps because their appearance was too ostentatious and too calm, many soldiers on both sides of the battlefield below also looked at him. Zhou Fight's expression did not change. His willpower first swept across the entire battlefield before immediately figuring out the general military strength of the entire battlefield. There are still over 300 Guy unit God spirits left. In terms of Supreme Will Realm experts, the Illusionist clan still has 106 left. In terms of willpower, the Illusionist clan only has 12 left. Zhou Fight muttered to himself and took a deep breath. He looked in the direction of God King Heaven Punishment and said calmly, "Everyone, you've worked hard. Leave the rest to this Emperor's Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom Army." The experts of the Supreme Great Cosmos were stunned. Leave the rest to his Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom Army? What did this mean?